Hello, everybody. My name's Austin.
And I'm Dan.
And we're here to play games.
With tea.
Yes. What kind of tea are you drinking today, Dan?
Or in this case, coffee. Coffee talk. I am actually drinking tea, though. I am drinking Yorkshire tea. I'm having a proper brew, as the British say. Nice black tea. I was feeling it right now. It's one of my kind of standby teas. It's got a very savory flavor to it.
Nice. Yeah. I'm currently tealess because mine is in the works. So I will have one next episode. And I'll talk about it then.
Very good.
All right. So welcome back to Coffee Talk. I think we're getting close to wrapping this up. If I was looking at it correctly, Dan and I were looking over what we think is left. We're down to the last 4, including this one. So things are ramping up. We've seen some real fun interactions between Hyde and Gala and Bailey's and Lua and their opinions of their relationship. We've seen Neil, who was our astronaut friend.
Yeah,
he worked for us for a day or so. And obviously Freya's still working on her book. Which reminds me, we should take a look at these stories.
We got a new story here.
Yeah. And then we had Aqua. Hold on.
Yes.
I can tell you for sure instead of trying to guess.
Yeah. Let's go look over here, yeah.
Myrtle, the orc, and Aqua, yeah. And they're working together, which is really cool.
That's right. It's Rachel and Hendry as well.
Yes, yeah, Rachel and her father, Hendry. Which, I mean, again, I know I say it every time, but that's just such a cute picture. All right. Anyway. All right, let's look at the news story today.
All right.
Happily ever after, part 1. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But I do want to be with you here in this moment, stuck in eternal limbo, in an infinite loop of this exact hour, forever? Hell yeah, dude. That's probably the last time Romeo remembered having a really meaningful conversation with Juliet. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, dear readers. Just like any other story, this one also has a beginning. And it begins with an introduction. Romeo is a young man of 20. He comes from a quite conservative, but not yet out of touch family. In other words, they're just like almost every other family in the world. He hates the name his parents gave him, and he hates it even more knowing that his life is so far is fulfilling all the cliches of his fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a girl named Juliet is really just icing on the cliched cake at this point. Juliet is a young woman of 20. She also comes from a quite conservative but not yet out of touch family. In other words, they're also just like almost every other family in the world. She loves the name her parents gave her, although she hates the fact that her life so far is fulfilling half the cliches of her fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a boy named Romeo is unfortunate, but she has no plans to die stupidly over it. Both of them studied the same university, and they're definitely not the type of people who naturally choose to be friends. Fate, however, in the form of a hip young lecturer with an over-enthusiasm for assigning group projects and an unfortunate sense of humor, is what brings them together. A simple group assignment is what introduces our young Romeo and Juliet to each other. Even after their first fated meeting, and the many, many more meetings required to finish the assignment, there's no sign that Romeo means anything more to Juliet than a friendly acquaintance she's spent a lot of time in the library with. Nor, honestly, does she mean that much more to him. In fact, after she made an ill-judged joke about their literary elephant in the room, she probably means significantly less. But as time goes on, and as the group assignments keep coming without the lecturer ever assigning new partners, Romeo and Juliet become closer. They both begin to see things in the other that they hadn't noticed before. Though for Romeo, that fact is rather frightening. How could I fall for somebody like her? And named Juliet, no less. I can't accept it. My mind's just playing tricks on me. Again and again, around and around, his thoughts chase themselves whenever he sees her. The day is Monday, and Romeo has a class he needs to attend. However, something is different. Normally a relatively anxious fellow, he finds going to a class requires a lot of willpower. Today, however, he finds himself hurrying to get there. He knows why, of course, but he refuses to admit it to himself quite yet. The first thing Romeo does when he opens the door is to look at a specific table, the table where Juliet always sits. To his unacknowledged disappointment, the table is empty. Fuck, mutters Romeo under his breath. He doesn't curse because Juliet's not there, of course. Rather, he curses because noticing this was the first thing he did upon entering the room. After sitting in his usual place, Romeo reopens his book and begins reading. Every time someone opens the door, Romeo turns immediately to look and quietly whisper a curse. Again, he's not cursing because he is disappointed it is not Juliet who enters. He is cursing because he turned to look. A few minutes before the class begins, Juliet finally arrives, announcing herself and her friend with a braying laugh as she does so. That sound used to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world, at least as far as Romeo was concerned. But today it brings a small smile to his face. Fuck, curses Romeo again after he realizes he just smiled at the sound. Is Romeo in love? He probably is, but he doesn't want to admit that. Falling in love with Juliet is dangerous, extremely dangerous. They come from completely different backgrounds, they have different skin colors, and they worship different gods. He has no problem with interracial relationships, of course, he doesn't. But he never expected it to happen to him. This simply will not do. I need to talk to you. Romeo looks up. Juliet is standing over his table. Her jaw is set, but her eyes are worried, and he completely forgets all about his own problems. What's up? He asks. Can you keep a secret? It's really important. Sure, I guess I can. Good enough, because I really need someone to talk to. So Juliet sits down and begins telling her story to Romeo. She talks about the problems she's been facing over the past few months, how they affect her study, about how he's not the first person she's talked to about this. On, and Romeo listens to every word. Eventually, Juliet stops talking and sits quietly. Romeo thinks that she looks somehow lighter than she did before she began talking. He doesn't know how to react to what she told him. He tries giving her some advice. Really stupid advice, he thinks, as soon as he said it. But he believes it's probably much better than just listening and nodding and watching her walk away. He doesn't think he wants her to walk away from him. He thinks about this. One thing is for sure, Juliet trusts Romeo as a friend. They've shared a secret now. Even though Juliet has shared the same secret with others before him, this still makes Romeo happy. So damn happy. How pathetic am I, being happy because someone I like came and told me she's not? Romeo thinks, and then shakes his head like a dog shaking off water. After sharing everything she had wanted to share, Juliet starts talking about lighter topics. Soon they're joking freely, and the dark mood of earlier almost completely dissipated. Just before Juliet leaves, Romeo asks her something. Why did you tell me all that? Well, I don't really know. I think I can trust you. And you're one of those rare few people who can talk to people directly without sugarcoating everything. It's refreshing, she shrugs. I guess that's why. What Juliet said is true, but Romeo finds it amusing that even though he normally speaks directly to everyone he knows, he can't do that with Juliet. He's not himself when she's around, or so he believes. After the conversation, Romeo falls even more helplessly in love with Juliet. It's stupid. He thinks of someone who rarely falls so hard for anyone. But Juliet is driving him crazy, and the fact that she makes him feel the closest thing to love he's felt in years. Yet a big wall of cultures, norms, and other societal traditions stand between them, hurts him even more. That is, of course, if Juliet is even into him anyway. As weeks go by, Juliet and Romeo become closer. They start telling each other stories more often. But all of these stories are limited to their friends and anything at all besides their feelings for each other. She's not into me, she's just an extrovert. She's friendly with everyone, Romeo keeps thinking. And it's when he's thinking about that suddenly Juliet comes and sits at his table. So you said you wanted to tell me something? It's true, he has already sent a message to Juliet telling her he wanted to talk about something. Oh wow, diving straight in. It's nothing at all that important, actually, says Romeo. Come on, it's not like you to be so indirect about things. What's wrong with you, boyo? Romeo actually called Juliet to talk about her attitude recently. She's been weird, at least in Romeo's eyes, and it feels like she's getting farther away, removing herself from many student activities she'd usually partake in. Juliet answers all his questions, all his thoughts and concerns about how she seems to be removing herself from all the other side activities she manages to shrug off or easily explain. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm obsessing over every single thing she does, thinks Romeo, while a pit opened up in his gut at the thought. Is that all? Anything else you want to say? She questions him. Fair is fair, after all. Do you know that I used to like you? The words came out from Romeo's mouth out of the blue. He's horrified, even as he recognizes that it's a lie. He still likes her now. He doesn't even know why he decided to confess his feelings right at this random moment. Never mind why he confessed with half a lie. It wasn't planned at all, but when he heard Juliet say, anything else? Well, it's definitely one thing Romeo had been planning to say to Juliet for the last few thousand aeons, or as normal humans measure time, since around 8 months ago. Juliet shows a flash of surprise and then says, no, I had no idea at all. Why? Why what? Why do you like me? Or did you like me? I mean, there must be a reason. Oh, of course there is. Romeo opens his mouth to tell her and pauses. He blinks slowly and closes his mouth again. Or not. I don't know. I think there is, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm talking gibberish. Juliet does not respond to that. Romeo doesn't even dare to look at her directly, but he can see out of the corner of his eye that she looks dumbfounded. He takes a breath and opens his mouth again, hoping for a lightning strike, divine inspiration, or instant death. He isn't picky. Okay, I see you as a really strong person, okay? You have a big girly smile, or side, but you're also really strong, independent person. Okay, I get the girly part, but what makes you think I'm strong? Well, just look at how you work with all your assignments and organizations. I definitely could never deal with everything as well as you do. Ever. Oh, come on, everybody has something they're good at. You can do things I can't. That's pretty normal, you know? I know, but still, I'm not sure that's probably what attracts me to you the most. When he says that, Romeo tries looking at Juliet. Just for a moment, he saw a twitch of a smile on her lips, but dared not even hope. He ascribes it to his imagination instead. So what's next then? Asked Juliet. To be honest, I don't know. I said this because I can't keep hiding it forever. I needed to say it to you even though I know it's impossible for me to ask you out considering all the differences between us. Juliet pauses. Oh, of course. You don't need to say anything though, just needed to get it out of the system, that's all I wanted to say. Well, okay then, I have something else to do. You don't have anything more to say, right? Yes, that's all. Juliet nods and says goodbye and then quickly walks away. After Juliet leaves, Romeo lets out a heavy sigh. Good work there. That one's hell of a lot of old baggage I just let go and a whole hell of a lot of new baggage I replaced it with. Here's an interesting fact about our Romeo. During the whole conversation, he hadn't been able to keep himself from shaking. It's an old habit that he just can't let go of. To his relief, they had been sitting during the whole conversation, so he could hide his tremor. Still, even though he feels intense relief after telling Juliet about his feelings, his hands are still trembling. He has to wait a couple of minutes before he can walk away himself. It's really interesting because for serious conversations, that's what I deal with too. So now, after Romeo's long-awaited but ultimately useless confession, what's next for our Juliet and her Romeo? Well, funnily enough, neither she nor Romeo ever mention it again. At least not to each other. Romeo did eventually tell some of his friends about his feelings for Juliet, but what about Juliet? Romeo didn't know anything about how she was coping with his revelation. He expected that she'd probably told some of her friends, as he had told his. But that doesn't even matter, he tells himself. We're not meant for each other. Anyway. Watching from the outside, nothing seems to change between them. They still talk about their classes, about their friends, about shows they've watched and books they've read. But they never ever mention it again. The time when Romeo revealed his feelings to Juliet. At first, Romeo had thought that confessing his feelings would mean letting go of a big boulder inside his heart. As it turned out, it only transformed the boulder into a restless rock monster, asking for more. Eventually, he realizes letting Juliet know about his feelings isn't enough. He needs to have her. He wants to hold her tight. He wants to stare into her eyes and tell her he loves her to Pluto and back. He wants to hear her say, "I love you too." He wants to kiss her. He wants to run away with her to a place where no one cares about their differences and just sees them as a cute couple in love. He wants to do all good things in life together with her, and more than anything on this earth, he simply wants her. The feeling is killing him now. How could she be acting normally after whatever revelation? Does it mean his feelings mean nothing to her at all? The peak of his emotions comes one day, and then our hero is falling asleep. Suddenly, his body is drenched in sweat, his heart beats too fast, and his thoughts only run to one thing: Juliet. He wants to. No, nothing so prosaic. He needs Juliet. He doesn't care about anything else, about the traditions, about their families, about anything. There's only one thing he needs to do tomorrow, and that is to confess his feelings again to Juliet. This time, however, he's going to ask her out. If she feels the same way, he will ask her to just give it a try and fight the world together. He resolves that he is going to take a leap of faith, and it will be the first thing he does the next time they meet. To be continued. That was a rather long story as compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, and there's going to be a part 2, it looks like.
Yep. So I guess those
See what
episodes are going to be
happens.
running along.
Okay.
All right. Another thing to point out before we really get striving into this conversation with whoever our patrons are today is I filled out the brew pad.
Yes.
There's an endless mode where you can kind of play around with the different drinks, and so I wanted to have the drink options available to us for the last few episodes so that everybody could see the different drinks that there are. So
There are a lot of drinks.
there are, and they're broken down, right? So you got coffees, we've got teas, we've got green tea specifically.
Yeah.
I think this one is chocolate related, and then of course we have our milk ones as well. So lots of different little things in there.
Very interesting. Milky Way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. If you would.
Okay. Welcome.
That's Bailey's.
Good evening, Mr. Bailey's.
Evening. Am I the first customer tonight?
You are.
That's new. Got them shifty eyes. Freya's not here?
She said she's coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends.
Interesting. Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right?
Her friends have visited this place from time to time, just not as much as her.
Writers gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about when they get hanging out.
I've known them for some years now. She has this habit, you know. If she said they're friends, it means they're just hanging out normally. But if she said they were writer friends, they're probably talking about work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts, or sharing and validating ideas.
Interesting. They even use code words for meeting up?
Oh, it's not like that. She doesn't even realize that's what she says. I just picked up on it.
Yeah, some people are like that. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant?
It's part of the job.
And why is that?
People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others, but their body language can be loud and clear. It can tell you a lot of things. Whether they need a friendly ear, or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well. Because, you know, sometimes what people want is not what they need.
That's deeper than I would have thought. So, what are you reading for me now?
I won't say.
Why?
That would break the charm.
The hell was that?
I guess I can say this much. Whatever I say or do to our customers, it's always related to what I'm getting from their body language.
Including our interaction now?
Including our interaction now.
Interesting. Man. Now I see why you didn't want to share. Even that was enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. By the way, I haven't ordered anything.
What are you having tonight?
Hot chocolate with ginger and cinnamon. I heard it's a good drink for a bitter heart. Bruh,
All right,
have
then.
I got the drink for you? Let's take a look here.
I just saw it. Yeah, bitter heart.
Yep. So we got chocolate, we got ginger, and we got cinnamon.
Thanks for filling that out. That makes that pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. Let's serve it.
All right. Here you go.
Mmm. Tastes bitter. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Spending extra time decorating this drink.
Only for special people and special drinks.
Say, Bill Nanigan, tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Anything. How old are you?
Old enough to open a coffee shop.
Oh, man. I guess I should say sorry for asking that.
It's all right. But that's the only answer I can give.
You know, I respect that. Now you're making me wonder. What should I ask next?
I have been wondering about the proprietor of this establishment. For
Yeah.
a while.
I think it's left open for our interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, Freya, are you doing okay there, Chief?
Freya, you all right?
Oh man. Hello, everyone.
Mm.
Why are you both looking at me like that?
Freya, you look
Like you're coming apart?
horrible.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You better ask what that didn't happen, because the answer would be proper sleep and decent progress on my draft.
You need to rest.
And miss my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Baileys. I won't be able to keep you company, because I have to finish this thing. And for that, I need a whole hell of a lot of espresso.
Are you sure about that? You really should just rest. Get something to help you sleep.
Espresso! Please. Coffee.
Espresso it is. I wonder what would happen if we gave her like a warm milk. She's like, hey,
She would probably throw it back at us.
stop that.
She's an adult. She can make her own decisions.
That's right. I don't want to do this. You really need to have a rest, Freya.
Just give me the damned espresso!
It's right there. Okay.
This will keep me from falling asleep.
Hmm,
I mean, if you're that tired, no amount of caffeine is going to help you.
that's right.
How
was the meeting?
It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice, but that also means things. And not a small number of them, mind you, need to be rewritten.
Oh.
Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. Yeah, I know. It's like
It's
switching.
Killing me.
Yeah. It's just that. I'm going to use my usual corner. Thanks for the coffee. I might make it through the night. She looks horrible.
She does. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it.
This isn't the first time she's acted like this.
No. But this time, the stakes are pretty high.
They're just staring at each other.
What brings you here today?
I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight, and this place just came to mind. Out of the blue.
I'll have to thank your subconscious then. Shouldn't be subconscious, it's subconscious.
Yeah. I guess you should. Lua? Oh, I was right.
Oh boy.
This needs to be resolved. I hope for happy endings. Not sure I should think it yet or not. Hi, Lua. Hi, Baileys. How? Oh boy. You first. No, you first. This is awkward. I was just going to ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good, yeah. I think I need to order something first. Of course, yeah, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Bill Nanigan.
What are you having this evening, Miss Lua?
Gingerbread coffee, please.
Ooh.
Coffee. Coffee, ginger, and cinnamon.
Nice. Brew it up.
Actually sounds really yummy.
So you did this in an endless mode? Is this just you kind of went through and experimented?
Yeah, there's it might be two different modes, but I think it was endless. But there also might just be like a free roam where you can experiment with the different mixtures and kind of figure out what it is.
That's cool. I didn't know that was in this game.
Yeah,
That's
and then endless mode. Okay, yeah. So it's free mode, and then there's like an endless mode where you are filling out coffee orders as fast as you can as the time is expiring, and the more you fulfill the request accurately, the more time gets added onto it. So it starts off easy and then gets progressively harder.
So if you wanted to just do the barista thing and just go crazy making drinks, you could do that.
Right, and it also lets you play around with the latte art and stuff, which I spent an uncomfortable amount of time playing around with latte art. Did not get any better. So sorry about your loss.
Here it is.
Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. It reminds me so much of her. It reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. How's work? It's going pretty okay. You? I'm not taking any jobs at the moment. Because, well, you know. Yeah, I get it. You have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask. But yeah, I do. Thanks to that last annoying job. It went well in the end? It kinda did. They paid me on time at least. And the pay was amazing. How long are you planning to take a break for? I don't know. Until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this, but don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Bill Nanigan, who's standing in front of us? Not even Bill Nanigan. Okay. So there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years. I'm not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? Well, we had an argument about a week ago. It wasn't anything new. But somehow things escalated uncontrollably. And why is that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we're fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to start the conversation. Why? Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe? Or tiredness? Or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find the best solution for everyone anyway. Baileys, I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? Well, at least it won't affect her professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not as professional as her, you see. I think you're wrong. Really? If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I'd put on a lot of masks, just to hide the feelings I was going through. It sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is about as uncomfortable as this conversation.
Kind of got that pretense going to try to make it work.
Right. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cool guy. He is. What's next for us, Baileys? I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week, including the supermodel. You knew? That girl in the corner told me. Yeah, including that supermodel. And how does that make you feel? Like a fool. What? He said a lot of things that I've been trying to avoid thinking about. A lot of truths. He's a bit like you know? Attitude-wise. You'd get along with him. Doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. Ever heard that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on, us? I'm not sure, Baileys. What about you, yourself? Any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire, and I met a werewolf. What are the odds? What are the odds indeed? It's almost like Bill Nannigan did it on purpose.
Haha.
And what did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Baileys, I know I've been stubborn about you wanting me to make peace with my family, and I know that's very important for you, but Freya said something that kind of hit me hard. What was it? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family, when I actually want to do that anyway. For myself. You know me, Baileys. I do. And you know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families. Which makes me an asshole, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water, except for that's not how that phrase goes. What should we do? Lua? Yes, Baileys? Please let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. That sounds like the easier thing to do, after all. But you'll lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people? Sounds great. You'll live a long time. But you won't have the perfect health and perfect life that's elven privilege. But it's not a perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? You'll have lost everything. You'll blame me. Lua, I will never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy would never have blamed himself. 100 reasons for why something failed, but never anything to do with him. That won't happen with us. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It's made me a better person. So you don't need to worry about any of that. Because right now, you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life. Because without you, it won't be a life worth living. Baileys. I believe in you. Aw. Smoochy smooch. Love of my life. Lua. Bailey's. I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So what's our plan? Tomorrow is Saturday. Are we going on a date? I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. And I want you to come with me. Hey, that's a big step.
Gladly.
Yeah. What? That's so sudden. Did you already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. It's just I'm not prepared to meet them. It'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about this first. It'll be alright. Well, it never forbade you from dating other races? I'm not a big fan of elves, but that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay, this could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow, but we can think about it. And anything else later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts, but now I'm sure. I can trust you. Lua, thank you. Are you still staying at Farron's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Ooh. Huh?
Nice.
What about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Blananigan. Look at that smug look on his face. We're leaving. Thank you so much for keeping us up with us this past week.
The pleasure was mine.
We're off then. See ya.
Thank you for coming.
Have a nice night. Oh, she looks much better. That was pretty intense.
Oh, you're back in real world. Real world?
Yeah, right. I just pretend not to notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing the story. So I have to see their struggle through to the end. It's important for the writing, you know?
That's cold.
What? It's not like that. It's just that... Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry.
You look better than before, though.
Yeah.
For now.
She's gonna crash so hard. I can't tell you how I feel until it's done. And I don't... Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey, buddy. Hi, Gala. He's got it covered. Freya, you might want to move, doll. Whoa.
Freya, get over here.
This wolf? Is that him?
I think so. Welcome, sir.
Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer?
Trust me. He must have his reasons for coming here.
The fact that he is controlling himself is impressive.
You can relax, sir. Do you need anything? Something to calm you down, maybe?
I mean, I guess the Galahad was... Whoa. I don't remember... Oh, no. All right, it's T... Ginger?
Oh, I can't remember it. That's really funny that you can't look at it because of the event.
Yeah, he's getting so mad. Oh, no. I don't want to mess this up, so we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Hit me.
Tea, milk,
Ginger.
ginger.
Okay.
That's right.
I knew ginger was involved, and I thought milk was involved, but I didn't remember the order. It's so funny that they won't let you pull it up.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, there it is, the Galahad.
Galahad.
Here you go, friendo.
Here's your...
Galahad a fit. Wow, he drank that so aggressively.
Hmm.
All right, see you later. What the hell? Is that really him?
After seeing the reaction to the drink, 100%.
Well, whoever he is. This place survived.
Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. Don't want to cause any more ruckus. And I need to clean up some of the mess anyway.
Wow. Good idea.
Can you get back all right by yourself?
I'll manage.
Take care on your way back.
You be careful too. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Oh
Well.
boy, that was
I was wondering if
quite
we'd
the
see
experience.
his werewolf form at any point.
Right. Oh goodness.
Ooh.
All
Fun,
right.
fun.
Well, that's where we're wrapping that up today.
Yeah.
Hope you were enjoying it. So, I'm
That
glad
was really
that
cool.
yeah, I'm glad that Lua and Bailey's figured themselves out because they seem like they'd be a good couple. So.
Yep. I agree.
Excuse me. Well, if you liked what you see, please obviously like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us your favorite pairing or experiences thus far, or music, or your favorite dessert. I don't know. It's whatever suits your fancy.
Favorite tea,
Yeah,
hot beverage, coffee, cocoa, whatever.
all of that. And yeah, because that helps us out. And check out our other stuff too. Obviously we have unpacking for other tea time. And then when we're done with coffee talk, we do have another tea time video set lining up nice and smoothly soon. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much decided on what our next one will be, but yeah, we'll definitely get that figured out. There will definitely be one coming after this, though. We're going to continue with these, so look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, more than anything else, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We hope you were able to decompress from a busy Tuesday, and hope you have, or any day you watch this really, and we both hope that you have just a most wonderful afternoon, and we will see you all in the next video.
See you next time. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye-bye now.